John Atwater is live at the Basket in West Bridgewater, where all of this went down, John.
Well, Maria, police say that those women walked out of the store here with lobster and steak, but they didn't get far. Officers arrested them out here in the parking lot. Cell phone video shows two women berating and attacking workers Sunday evening as stunned shoppers stare in disbelief.
That's crazy. Oh, nah.
Others watching the combative confrontation can't understand it.
I'm speechless because doesn't matter the reason, is not supposed to act like that.
Investigators say the women deliberately slipped higher-priced food like lobster, ribeye steaks, and truffle butter in blue bags while they were checking out. And police say when workers confronted them about not paying for the items, the women started attacking them and yelling racial slurs.
People are shoplifting. They're getting beat up for trying to stop the people. That's not fair to them. I mean, it's really messed up.
Police arrested Olivia and Regine Bird in the parking lot. The sisters are now facing charges, including assault and battery. Other shoppers say they have sympathy for the workers who are dedicated to their jobs.
I just see them work hard over here.
They went and assaulted people in a store in public. That's not all right.
Well, those workers, thankfully, they were not seriously hurt, and those two sisters were released from custody as the case against them moves forward. We're live in West Bridgewater tonight. John Atwater, WCVB News Center.
Metro Police, they're searching for three women accused of attacking an 89-year-old security guard in a robbery. It happened Wednesday. This is near Charleston and Decatur. Police describe the suspects as women in their 20s. Anyone with information, you can stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers. The number is right there on your screen.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Arachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. I mean, as it is written, know this first, that in the last days, perilous times shall come. And we're getting ready to see a lot of people's primal instinct being enacted in inaction. People are not gonna be able to control themselves, especially in a society like Babylon that's known for its decadence. Everybody's overeating. We have food in excess. You have the luxury of, buying food, at your own luxury in abundance. And even for a lot of these creatures, they didn't have to spend their own money. So now that the government, their government husband is finally cutting them loose and giving them the bill of divorcement, unless they eventually take that C-hip, to get back in good graces and to get everything back, they're crashing out. All right, and this is the behavior to expect from them. All right. When you are used to living in a home that you're not making any payments on, that you didn't buy, and you had all this luxury to be able to eat thousands of dollars a month worth of food between you and your children with money that you're not paying out of your own pocket. All right, that's being issued to you for free by the government via taxpaying money. And this is why you women that are getting cut off, people are not having sympathy for you. So now you got to resort to your primal instinct, your animalistic nature, And I'll say to you brothers and even you few sisters out there, be circumspect, be alert. All right, the way that they're making this go down, because this is all by design, of course. All right, they're definitely trying to spark war and chaos in the country. It's pretty obvious what they're doing. But just be mindful and be aware of your surroundings, especially when you're going out and about. You know, because people that still are able to work, that's able to provide for themselves in these perilous times, you're going to be targeted. You know, so if you got a woman, don't let her go out there shopping on her own. You know, you should probably go with her. All right, you know, I'll be back. I'm finna make a quick store run. I'll be back. Finna run over here to the supermarket. Nah. You know, because me personally, if I see these big back bonnet wearing beasts approaching, you know, my basket, you know, with food that I pay for out of my hard-earned money, you know, hey, I'm just saying. Yeah, I might have to get some pepper spray or something. Probably some damn bear spray to send back these big wide back beasts from away from my basket. But we're in that time right now, man. And it ain't gonna be just them. You're gonna have the YNs too. I wouldn't be surprised if even some of these Edomites are out there doing that, because contrary to the common belief and the you know, the thing that they try to hide is that a lot of Edomites are on government assistance too. They're the main recipients of SNAP benefits. So a lot of them are going to be desperate as well. But Eve, we know her nature. She can't help herself. All right. So, you know, just be careful out there. And, you know, the scriptures say to be circumspect. Now, let me get a quick script, because it said that these things were going to happen, and it's already beginning. This is 2nd Esdras, Salakia. 2nd Esdras 15:19, and this is in the GNT, the Great News translation, right? It says, driven by famine, 2nd Esdras 15:19, driven by famine, all right, meaning, you know, either the food is scarce or there's a lack of access to food. And if they're cutting off your benefits and that was your only means to be able to purchase food so that you can eat, it might as well be a famine for you, right? And terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. And that's exactly what we're starting to see. These chicks were already vocal about what they were going to do on social media. Talking about they're going to go out there and they're going to basically steal. They're going to be going after people with shopping carts. Approaching people as they, you know, get to their vehicles, which is stupid to me. You don't know what people got in their vehicle. You don't know what they got in their trunk, under their seat. So you're going to see some a few people that's going to attempt. They're going to end up on the news. There's going to be a couple news stories. Somebody laid flat in the middle of a parking structure, or the parking lot of a Walmart or whatever. It's not going to be safe, man. Because people are not going to feel sympathy, especially if you able-bodied. These little big back broads, you know, with these bonnets, you know, running around terrorizing. They act like they're not able-bodied. Like they can't go and try to get a job like everybody else. Yeah, I know it's kind of rough and a lot of people are being laid off. But there's all type of stuff that you can do. So there's really no excuse. Now, if you are disabled or you're elderly, and you know they cutting you off from your only means, and that was your only way to eat, then hey, you know, there might be a little compassion there. Like if I'm being approached by an elderly person or somebody that's disabled and they ain't able to work, and they're coming to me for food, or they might try to take something from the basket, I might let it slide. Matter of fact, let me get a quick scripture. But you big linebacker, wide back, beastly ass NDubs, man, and even you YNs, man, there's no excuse. Let me get Proverbs 6 real quick. I'm gonna get it in the NLT. Cause you know you understand somebody that's you know poor and destitute, and it was circumstantial to their living situation why they ended up homeless and can't provide for themselves, you know. But a lot of these women, they got too comfortable, you know, living off the system. All right, they didn't think of any you know, backup plan. They didn't try to put in the effort to try to get on their feet. They just relied heavily upon the system. And now look what's happening. This is exactly what you get, and the scriptures tell you. Confidence in an unfaithful man in the time of trouble is like one with a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. All right, now the feeling is not so good. It shows you the level of comfortability, man. These women were very at ease. So they're the main ones that's out there going crazy. You really don't see the men doing all that, because men always found a way, and they was never allowed to live off the system like the women do. So who you see mainly out there acting out, acting like a straight up uncontrolled beast? Proverbs 6 and 30. It says, excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. All right. So he might have excuses and circumstances for why he's in his condition and why he's taken from you. It can very legitimately, he can have a legitimate case that, hey, I'm disabled. I haven't been able to work. They're not allowing me to go back to work. So I'm not able to provide for myself. So I'm trying to survive. All right, man. I hear you. All right, because I have a level of humanity. And the scriptures talk about the fatherless, the poor, and the widow. But outside of that, you better get from around me. All right. So you're gonna have a lot of this going on. Okay, and like I said, going back to these women, especially the ones that made poor life decisions and decided to have all these children, knowing that they wasn't gonna be capable of providing, setting up a situation to be able to raise their children. These chicks, when they got on the assistance, they bullshitted. You know? Even when they got all those food stamps, you getting hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars worth of food stamps, and a lot of the times they'll sell their food stamps for cash, and they'll use the cash not to feed their children. They'll take those food stamps, convert it into money. They'll sell it to somebody for cash, and they'll take that cash and go and get weave extensions. They'll take it to go get, they'll go to their weed man so they can have fulfill their high, their weed habits. They'll go and get the alcohol, because you can't buy alcohol with food stamps. So they'll be irresponsible even with that. So now that that's being cut off, now they finna lose it. Now you wanna apply the SNAP benefits towards what it was actually intended for. Now that's getting cut off. Oh, I need my food. But when you had an abundance of it, because hey, some of these women, they getting in a month worth of food stamps, then I'm getting paid in a month working a 9 to 5. How you getting $4,400 in food stamps in a month? So, yeah, man. And they're not gonna pay whatever they steal. You catch them, they're not finna give that back. They're gonna attack you. Like you try to take food from a bear or any wild animal, they're not gonna be like, oh, my fault. Here, you can have it back. Here, matter of fact, here's nah. They're gonna try to rip your head. They're gonna rip you from limb to limb. So that's how these women are gonna start behaving out here. And then eventually some of these men, because they're gonna start to feel it eventually too. This is gonna affect everybody. Thus, why they're gonna come down with the hammer, with Trump trying to, he's saying that he wants at least 500 troops sent to was it every city? And this is pretty much a response to what we see unfolding due to these conditions. Let me see something. Yeah. It says Pentagon orders quick reaction force of 500 troops per state. So not city, but per state. All right. So they're already setting up this whole police state. All right. It's pretty much martial law. And you're going to have these troops in your cities and they're going to be policing everything. And they're gonna be primarily focusing on you tribes. You any you YNs, you little wild YNs, you big back she bears, nigga she bears, man. They're gonna be watching you. All right, you try to go into them areas where people with money are shopping, and you try to attack and rob them. Don't be surprised, man. But this is where it's getting. All right. Going back to what I just read here in 2nd Ezra 15, and now you're starting to see that activity, that behavior. All right. Let me do this. Yeah. So this is 2nd Ezra 15. In 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, I'll start at 14. It says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control, while ignoring the legitimate government. Basically rebellion against the government. People formulating their own militias and, certain groups and arming themselves. And they're pretty much orchestrating a civil war within the country. With the conservatives, the Repubs, blaming the Democrats on why the government is going to continue to stay shut down. So they're going to basically blame the Democrats and people that's siding with the Democrats. So you already know what time it is. This is part of that political divide that's pretty much going to lead to a possible civil war. All right, and we know that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So we're seeing the fall of Babylon. Okay, and this is what will be happening within this wicked kingdom. All right. People trying to overpower one another. Your people not caring about the government, incitement to rebel against the government, infighting, people attacking each other, lack of resources, poverty, depression, self-drug abuse. It says there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. All right, so this is what we're going to see. And it tells you also in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, that incontinency, unrighteousness and incontinency will increase. 2nd Ezra 5 and 10, it says, and they will even be found, even though many may look for them. Everywhere on earth, wickedness and violence will increase. And when you read it in the KJV, it says unrighteousness and incontinency. Now, when you look up incontinency, it normally would define it as having uncontrollable, basically having a lack of control of your bladder. All right, urinary uncontrol, right? But when you look up incontinent, it basically means to have lack of control or self-restraint. All right, and that's what these people are going to show, especially when people that are so used to pleasure and eating all the damn time, eating every 5 to 10 minutes, because they're getting thousands of dollars worth of food that they didn't have to pay for themselves. The moment you take that away from them, their nature is going to show. They're going to be out of control, man. So, yeah, just be alert and be circumspect. You know, I'd advise, hey, get you some pepper spray on your keychain. You know, that's strong enough to ward off these wild beasts. You know, I think bear spray might be a bit too potent. You might mess yourself up trying to spray that stuff, but who knows? Because it's hard to, you know, Eve, man. When them demons get on her, yeah, it's hard to fend her off, man. Not even male strength can sometimes put Eve down. They be having that hyper strength. Like Shaitan be dealing with with these NDubs, man. But I'm not inciting violence, but I'm just saying, hey, you could defend yourself. Now, if it's an elderly or old person, you know, or somebody that's disabled or blind or whatever, and they approach you, you know, you can show a little compassion, because you know, the scriptures tell you to show compassion. But elsewhere, hell no, man. And we know the scriptures say, when you do good, know of whom of. Matter of fact, let me just grab it and then we'll close. Because, you know, Jacob, you know, get over on you and take your kindness for weakness, or try to take advantage of you, especially these broads out here. And you're gonna see a lot of these women, they're gonna try to play fake humble. They try to get things out of men, but you know, they're gonna have a hard time with that. You know, men are gonna be able to see through it. Yeah, Sirach 12 and 1, it says, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from the Most High. So that's who you help. All right. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. And all these nigger women that made all these poor choices, they're ungodly. Or else the Lord will be taking care of them. It says, hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good that thou shalt have done unto them. You know, Because they can disguise themselves as being, you know, lowly and out of it. And it can be an act the whole time. Just to get whatever out of you. You know? Because right now we living in the days where you can't trust nothing out here. You know, if you're not in a cane or in a wheelchair, and I see, you know, the cast, the brace, I'm sorry, all right. But I got you know, myself and my family to feed. So, Khan, you know, just want to put that out there. But yeah, be circumspect, man. All right, and you see who they showing on the news. Okay. So just be mindful. So hey, with that, I'm gonna give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. And until the next one, Shalom.